Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here. We are on Zerde, and we are on Nessus. So, it is April 24th. Drive up here to the big gold barge and see what the tentacle-faced man has. And in case you guys didn't catch it, we had My Name is Bife, the lore master of all, on the Last Word podcast. That one will get uploaded later today, so stay tuned for that one to get uploaded to the channel. And also on audio platforms, Spotify, iTunes. So look up the Last Word podcast, and it's going to be episode 100. My Name with Bife was on there. My Name is Bife was on there, and it's 3 hours. It was an awesome episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy that one. So here we go. Alright, so the first thing we've got is your exotic engram. Always make sure you guys pick this one up. It is your chance at a good stat roll for armor, because Zerd does sell at collection level, so these are always just going to be your base low-level stats. If you do get a piece of armor from here, it has a chance to have a high stat roll. Anywhere in the mid-60s is possible. I've had all variations, but anywhere from mid-50s up to mid-60s, at least it's going to be better than the collection. So if you got the shards, definitely make sure you buy your exotic engram for the week. Some people are asking me to buy it, so I will buy mine this week just to see if I get anything good. So you guys what I'm talking about. And I got an armamentarium, so we still have to check that stat roll later. As for the gear, first, we have the Fighting Lion Exotic Grenade Launcher. Now, this is a Breachload grenade launcher. It's an energy weapon, and it also uses primary ammo, so it is ultra unique, actually, in a really cool way. So the primary ammo means you usually have 18 grenades that you can fire, so by the time you get a primary ammo box, you're usually going to refill this thing. So running out is usually not that frequent, especially if you're using this to kill a whole bunch of ads. And the other thing is it is a delayed gratification grenade launcher. Grenade projectiles will bounce off surfaces, hold your fire button to fire, and then release it when you want to detonate. And the nice thing is, when you fire the grenade out, if you learn kind of the timing, and it takes a little bit, but once you get used to it, this thing's actually quite powerful. Fire it out, and while it's flying through the air, release the fire button, and it explodes midair. I've used it in Crucible, I've used it in PvP, or PvE, I should say. It's powerful in lots of places. If for some reason you don't have this thing, you definitely want to make sure you pick it up. Also, it says Thin the Herd is the other perk. Direct hits do more damage to enemy combatant shields. Rapid kills against grenade damage enemies refill the magazine. Kills always drop primary ammo. So you're really not going to run out of ammo on this thing. You get a chance for an instant reload if you get rapid kills, potentially with like a small group. You can sit there and turn around and fire it again. And it's also very cool just for the fact that you can actually do more damage. Direct hits, shields, it's a void energy weapon. It's really cool. If you don't have this thing, definitely pick this up if you haven't acquired it before. It's a good gun. It takes getting used to. I'll be honest, you might pick this up and think it's trash at first. It's not. It just takes some time to get used to. Second thing we've got is the Celestial Nighthawk for the Hunters. This is your helmet for the week. And Hawkeye Hack is your perk. Modifies Golden Gun to fire a single high damage shot. I don't know if it's exactly in parity, but it used to be like the 6-shot damage, the 6 shots that you could put into a target before. This one was at least matching, if not better. So the point where you just want to put one giant shot into a boss, we'll say like, you know, divinities on it, or if you got a damage buff on it, it's one single shot, crap ton of damage at one point in time. So it's a really good thing to use for that single shot damage, still used to this day by Golden Gun hunters in PvE, just because of that one shot damage, good to go, and then you move on to your heavy weapon or something. It's a great way to boost your DPS output. Enemies eliminated by the shot also explode, which is cool, and grant you super energy. Now, typically you won't eliminate enemies, but if you have like a mid-boss or something that you're fighting in a strike, or just a high-level enemy and you're like, I don't want to use my Celestial Nighthawk right now, I want to save it for later, you always end up saving this thing for like the final guy and not using it that frequently because you just get one shot. But now if you kill enemies and get some of the energy back, it's a little more viable to use this more frequently. So that was a nice buff they gave to this one. So again, Hunters, if you don't have this, add this to your collection. It is a must because you pretty much need to have this thing, at least as an option. It always seems to come up every so often as a good thing to have. So if you don't have it, buy this thing. Second, for the Titans, we have the Hallowfire Heart. Now, this is a pretty cool chest, especially as some of us are working on laurels right now. Everything is based on abilities, and this thing actually ties in fairly well to that. The perk is Sunfire Furnace. Improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities. So your solar abilities reload or recharge faster, period. It greatly improves the recharge rate while your super is charged. So when your super is charged, if you leave it charged and not use it, your grenades and your melees are going to be coming up very frequently. Now, if you pair this with a day, which is actually today, which would be a funny day to try it, when Grenadier is the modifier in the Vanguard Strike playlist, you can throw so many grenades you may not even have to fire your gun. It gets to be a little crazy. So have some fun with this one. It definitely works right now because everything you need is ability kills. And while your super is going to get you some kills, it takes like 4 to 5 minutes to charge. If you leave your super charged, use your shoulder charge, use your grenades and stuff over and over and over, especially as you're trying to kill enemies in multiple places. It's a really viable thing to have to continue to be able to use your solar abilities. So again, this is kind of a good one to have as well today. So if you do have it, it's actually funny to see that chest on the helm. Those two don't go together, but it's what I'm currently wearing. If you want to go solar or need it for any bounties and things of that nature, get this thing. It will help you with all those bounties for solar kills, melees, grenades. If you don't use your super, those things come back really fast. It's really, really beneficial. Finally, for the Warlocks, we have the Sanguine Alchemy. For one, exquisite looking robe, so pretty sweet overall. This thing actually got completely reworked, I think, in a season or two ago. It's got a very different perk on it now. It's called Blood Magic. Weapon kills while standing in any rift. Could be empowering or healing. I don't think it works in Well of Radiance, though. Somebody correct me, but I don't think it does. Pause the rift's countdown and extends its duration. So the idea is if you put an empowering rift down on the ground, that boosts your damage. Then you start killing a whole bunch of enemies while in the rift. You're going to make that rift last even longer. Same thing with the healing rift. It's just you're going to be able to have the healing up much longer. So as a Warlock, it's actually pretty beneficial. I would almost put it more in a PvE setting, because getting kills in PvP could be cool to make it last longer, but having a reliable, steady stream of enemies coming at you, not always the easiest thing to do. But in PvE, being able to kill quite a few enemies, not really have to move quite as much, especially if you have healing underneath you and your super's not quite up yet, this thing is actually really cool, and it makes that healing rift last really, really long. It says it further kills maintain and extend the length of the pause. So if you're killing just a crap load of enemies, your rift is going to last for a very, very, very long time. So if you like healing rifts or empowering rifts, one for damage, one for staying alive, you got to stand still. I probably would vote for the healing rift, but then you can just sit there and pump out enemy damage on the enemies, and that healing rift is going to continue to stay active for so much longer, much less the countdown timer be paused. So if you haven't got this one, it's kind of an oddball one that came long ago, actually. In the Warmind expansion. It got a rework. It's pretty cool. If you haven't checked it out, or just, you know, it's been sitting in your collections for a while, pull this thing back out. It's pretty cool for the Warlocks, but if you don't have it, I can definitely see some pretty good uses for this thing, so if you haven't seen it before, pick this one up as well. So pretty much I would actually tell you, if you play all three characters, you could use all the pieces of armor Xur is selling, and Fighting Lion, while it does take some time to get used to, it's a little funky. It's actually a pretty fun gun to use, and actually has some good uses for it. It's a good way to also farm for the Mountaintop Grenade Launcher if you're still trying to get that Pinnacle grind knocked out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as I said, the Last Word podcast, we recorded it with My Name is Bife, the lore man. He was on there. We stole about 3 hours of his time, and I was honestly lucky we got to keep him for that long. So podcast will be uploaded here, both on YouTube and then also on audio platforms. You can find it on Spotify and iTunes and many other places. And if you look it up, it's just the Last Word podcast with Ebontis and Lord Cognito, and that's going to be episode 100 with Bife. So hopefully you guys enjoy that one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you haven't seen the channel before, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit the alert bell, hit that one too. That's going to keep my videos coming to you. Always appreciated though. All the support is great. If you like this one, drop a like below. Leave a comment. If I stated anything wrong, always helps to correct so everybody's got the proper information. Have a great one, everybody, and I will see you very, very soon, probably streaming this weekend.